Hi, YouTube. I hope you're all doing well. I wonder, what do you think about people wanting to track your carbon footprint when it's the same people that allow big factories that they own and corporations to pollute our air and then try and blame you for it? I mean, like in New York now, they can't even have a wood cooked pizza, and you can't even barbecue or trying to ban. I'm going to tell you what, not in my lifetime will my county and my state and my area ban barbecue pits. That's not going to happen around me. This is some fear tactic for your inner city people. I'll guarantee you that. Well, I guess I can't stake my life on it, but I'm pretty assured that everybody around me that doesn't own a big factory polluting our air isn't really entirely too concerned. And then even within a small community, um, a lot of people like in town, they walk. And like for me, I don't really drive a lot, you know, but I don't know. That's neither here nor there, I guess. But the thing is, even the times that I didn't even have a vehicle, didn't want one, the same with a phone or a television or whatever, the times that I have gone, or even, here's what gets me. This is entirely effing it right here. I got people that have never even planted a tree in their life telling me what they want to do with my footprint. Well, I'm going to tell you what I would like to do with my footprint. If I had the chance, I would. Oh, yeah. If I had one of these motherfuckers in my face spewing their bullshit right up front and personal, I would be I would be in a combative mood. Let's just put it that way. In fact, I am anyway today. Oh, by the way, whoever my new subscriber is, thank you very much. And whoever the other person besides me that liked my video, you rock. Thank you for your honor and your respect. I appreciate that more than you would know. I've had people shun me all their lives, and it is a mental illness to exclude somebody and feel joy in that. That's a psychopath, by the way. So enjoy yourself, I guess. It's really at your own expense in the end, you know. So, yeah, one of these days I'll find my whole tribe of people, God willing, that will actually value the person I am and what I have done and will do. But until that happens, I guess I will suffer with loneliness. And yeah, it is a hard thing to do, but so be it. But this isn't a whiny, poor me video. There's a lot of people that do incredible work and aren't recognized for their work, or have other people take things that they do and say and make it for themselves and have a bigger production so it looks a little better and whatever, never consulting with the person that actually came up with the information, but making it their own, whether they have a deep understanding of it or not. They don't care. So, and I have a question for people that I sub to. If you're watching me, do you think that prayers from me or any of your other friends or help from them um, has ever helped you succeed in any way in your life? And what if that was withdrawn? How would that look? What if you were the one being excluded? How would that look? That's a serious question here because it can happen. And it most likely will because you think you're on cloud nine for some reason. I'm not talking to you in particular, but there's a few people that I know that watch me. What? Okay, I'm grateful you watched me. What next? And who's going to listen to me? Only somebody that has a brain big enough that can comprehend the whole scope of something. Maybe that's who. Not somebody that's showing me a pity party, you know. I pity you because you don't see the value or would even want to share that. Yeah, well, whatever. So, anyway, back to the carbon footprint. How do you feel about that? Does that make you feel combative that somebody's going to try and take this black credit card, and even if you have funds that you're not going to be even able to access what your hard earnings have done for you? Try that on for size. That's not going to go over too big. Well, it will with the stupid people, but ugh, I am glad I'm probably not going to be living in this chaotic world that people are building for themselves. So. And for the ones that laugh at me and you think I'm truly not a martial artist, my invitation to spar with you is open at any time. My door is open. Well, not in my house, but out in my yard. Bring it on, please. I miss the exercise of sparring with somebody. And I don't care what age you are. Have you ever seen a senior martial artist? You might want to go check them out. It's not a joke. I'm not a fucking joke. I mean exactly what I'm saying. Especially if you hate me, please come and try and display that. Oh, do we have guns? Yeah. I don't touch them. I mean, I can. I'm a deadeye. I'm really good at any weapon that we have. I prefer not to use. I'm into self-defense. But see, self-defense doesn't always help you. Well, it does, yes, it does. But sometimes being the aggressor is exactly who you have to be in this type of a world. And don't lay this passive shit what Christ did on me. You probably have no clue on what a stable human being looks like. You know, that would be one that would never hurt a soul. You would have to have a soul first, though, wouldn't you? I'm just speaking what's on my mind, you know? And no, I don't care like that. Not like that. And I'd rather have people that truly want to watch me, not only to learn something, but because they actually like me, than for any other reason, you know? So, really, people with God in their hearts. And that's the most fun. If you're sparring with somebody or wrestling or whatever, and it's with somebody that cares about you, that's a lot more fun than, well, of course, than somebody that's trying to murder you, which has always been most the time the situation that I've been in. But yeah. And I don't know why Lionel Nation keeps telling Bobby Kennedy to quit exercising. What are you talking about? Leave his old ass alone. He needs to exercise. We all do. What are you saying? Stop making fun of his old. So what? I didn't see he had his shirt off exercising. That's not my thing either. Okay. Leave the old man alone. I don't know if he just started exercising or like me. I mean, I was walking at 9 months old and riding my brother's trike. I have a video of it with me on my brother's trike when I was 9 months old. That's my physical level. I don't know about yours, but that's like I have been very active my entire life. I just did not start this out of the blue, you know? I grew up with every sport. I mean, tennis, badminton, volleyball, had my own net, had my own rackets, had my own tetherball. I mean, I could go on and on and on. You would not even believe it. We had a giant um, tractor tire that we inner tube that we used to get in and roll down the hill, and then we put it on its side and we bounce on it and we flip over it, you know. And I mean, and can I flip now? I would be able to do a handstand or walk on my hands or even bounce off a wall if I had to. Yeah. And in Taekwondo, your bounce on one leg, and my balance is freaking incredible. And I can darn near put my elbows on the ground when I bend over. So this is not um 65-year-old Barb just getting in the groove of trying to exercise. No, this is lean, mean Barb Clean Wheats. That's who I am. Got it? I'm not playing. I had a friend write on Facebook, is there anybody around him that can be his exercise buddy? Good luck with that one. I wish you lived closer. Yeah, we would be able to exercise. Yeah, that would be a cool thing. And I've tried to get friends of mine and people I know. I'll be doing shit right in front of them, and I'm like, just do this like this or that, or and they just sit there looking at me. Oh, okay, okay. But don't tell people to stop exercising, even if they just started. That's don't ever say that to anybody, ever. This world is so fat and sassy, especially over this internet, you know? You people wouldn't be saying and doing the shit you do over the internet in people's faces. You would not. You fucking would not. And you know it. Yeah, you know it. It's just hilarious to me. Some of these people I can see. Um, wow. You don't you think that that's a dangerous thing to do? Like pushing people's buttons from long distance? Some people don't have to live right next door to you in order for uh how would I put that? In order for something bad to befall you, you do get what you give in this world, you know? Boy, people are brave. I know I am, but that's not because I'm fearless. Excuse me. Well, yeah, it's kind of because I am fearless. I guess no, it is because I don't fear things like other people do because I'm confident like that. You know, you have no clue. You know, you can imagine whatever you want, but my imagination's better though. That's the thing, right there, and it really is. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, I don't know. People, I don't know. We need to, and this is my opinion, sell all the furniture and paintings and everything in the White House and open that thing up for a public transit building for illegal immigrants and localize our governments and get these goddamn clowns, these treasonous pieces of trash, no matter what party they represent, the hell away from us and our families. I don't know about your country, but my country makes me ashamed. The leaders in this country, you're so fucking weak and stupid, you wouldn't even be able to lead a horse unless somebody taught you how. You couldn't even call one to you. And by the way, horses that are in a stable and stalled are not wild horses. I've ridden wild horses, and if they're in a enclosure, they've already been tamed. They're not wild, not at all. If you've ever had one snort at you and rear up and paw at the air and kick its legs out backwards and scream at you, then you'll know what a wild horse is. You ever been a couple feet away from something like that? Or on the back of something like that? Yeah, wild horses. It was funny though. I do get that song stuck in my head. That's funny. Very funny. By the way, if you're around horses, they usually love to be talked to, and you can tell them anything and they listen. And they probably know more English than a lot of dogs do, you know? Yeah, they do. They understand voice commands and all kinds of stuff like that. They're pretty neat, you know? But back to the world leaders, yeah, I would have loved any one of my representatives. My horse was not your average horse. She was what they call hands, which is 4 fingers. My horse was at least 3 hands taller than the average horse, which is 17.5 hands tall. Most horses are like 15 or 14. So that might give you some idea of the beast I could control, or one of them that I did. Oh, yeah. But anyway, I'd like to see one of them grab something like her and try and take it for a walk or get on its back with no saddle or bridle. Just get on its back. Yeah, something like that. That would be fun to experience. But then again, it's kind of, unless it's a very tame horse with no spirit, it's all broke. Um, if you go to get on something that's a little feisty. That's what I'd like to see my government officials do. I would like to see them. They want to try and break people that can break horses. That's not really too intelligent of them. That's just my opinion. I'm thinking to myself, do you even know how to train a dog? Or how did you raise your child, you know? And a lot of people could think, well, gee, my kids didn't turn out too good. Yeah, yours wouldn't have with the dark cabal after you either. So it's easy to put yourself a little bit above in that area, isn't it? Because you've never done anything to fight for anybody except yourself. That's why. What reason would they have to come after your children? You're not a threat. If you have kids. Yeah. I'm going to sit here and be a chain smoker for a minute here. So that's one of my favorite songs is and then I forget the name of it. Something Just Like This by Coldplay and the Chainsmokers. That's a good song. I love the video. Love it. It reminds me of a premonition that I had a long time ago. A lot of their stuff is really esoteric in nature. A lot of information in all their songs, just about. Yeah. Well, I did use my dishwasher last night. Doug got it set in there. All he's got left to do, we've got, he's gonna put up another piece of underlayment so it's flat, and then our wall covering that looks like um, oak will be here today. That I want to go over the walls in the kitchen with, so we can put some of that up there, and then finish making the cabinet area there. But yeah, dishwasher worked great. Finally. So yeah, he does nice work. Doug does. He doesn't think he's a carpenter, but he knows he is. He can do it. You know. I'm sitting there telling him how to do it because I actually am a licensed contractor, and so I'm sitting there telling him how he can go put a brace on the wall and eliminate some of the wood that, the amount of wood that a person would use. You can shorten things if you're not. I mean, this thing that he's building is sturdy enough, like he said, to put like a small block Chevy on it. And it's like, yeah, not in my house, you know? So, but, he was like a joke. But it is true that it's sturdy enough where it would hold some weight. So that's good. But so anyway, I'm sitting there telling him how I would do it to save lumber. And then he said something back to me. And it was just like we were saying the same thing, only it seemed like a whole nother language. I don't know how that happens. I don't know. Like, am I speaking in another language? I don't know. He goes, we're saying the same thing but different. It's like, but how can that be? Yeah, the same result with different words, actually. But it was sort of funny because it happens often. Because he'll ask me what I think or show me something, and then I'll say something like a dummy. I think I fall into it. So. I'm not saying I always get my way around here, but I will tell you something. My words carry more weight than you would ever realize in a lot of areas in my life. So, and I will be over on morgellons.org. I have the whole breakdown on two different articles of what the bug is, what its gestation periods is, types of ways to combat it, and everything else. And I will go through that coming up here in a while. I have videos talking to just type in Morgellons and my name and see what you come up with, because I have more than one video talking about it. So I'm not trying to keep information that can help people away from you at all. It's just that I'm not going to compile all the stuff that I have right now to try and prove myself out when nobody's even giving me the time of day. You know, it's like, what? You are that goddamn stupid that you don't want to help humanity? Or you think I'm stupid that I wouldn't know about microorganisms and how they react? I don't know. It's one of the two. Take your pick. Don't forget it was a woman that invented the light bulb, a black woman, quite a while ago. Yeah, it was stolen from her. Of course it was. What isn't? You know? But just keep this in mind when you're protecting people that don't deserve it and promoting people that don't deserve it. You're doing a disservice to everybody, including yourself. I've had people that have wanted me on their shows and stuff. It's not like that, but I am very selective because there's two reasons why. Um, I'm not going to be baited in any um, oh, two areas, religion and politics, that um, the way society is in their mental state of mind, and opening up myself to somebody else's scrutiny will never happen. You don't judge the judge, and I don't give a fuck what you think. Yeah. You better take it serious. I know you think it's not a big deal, and you think that that's not who I am, but you're wrong. That's exactly who I am. So while you're sitting there trying to find fault with me that isn't there, you better just go look in the mirror. It's a fact. Oh, so what do you think about that? Think I'm an asshole for even saying it? You can go ahead and say it. Do you think I care? I wouldn't care. Why would I? All you butt hurt babies. Or whatever. Um, Let me rephrase that for the ladies and gentlemen. Couch potatoes. Spud buddies. Monster mash. Okay, I'm done, I think. Well, do you remember that stupid little dolls that they had for kids that they had, my buddies, they were called? One of my sons, I can't remember which one, had one called Dapper Dan, and it had a vest. that buttoned and zippers and shoes that tied so the kids could learn how to, dress themselves and stuff when they were little. So, but then you get these odd kids that will try and like zip the button up and all the weird things, that kids do. When my kids were little and they first met Doug, we were watching a little cartoon called Dungeon Master. It was a little tiny wizard guy with a blue hat with stars on it and a blue robe, wizard robe, and was, stars on it, I think, white stars. And so we started thinking of Doug as the Dungeon Master. My kids did not know how right they were on that. Yes, he's the one that's written about, and this is the guy. Yes, that's the guy. I used to run away from his brain until I just got pissed one day and I saw what my kids were going through. My oldest one was 6 years old, and I moved back to this state to confront this situation and put an end to some of the chaos in the world. You'll see it lessen. Right now it looks really bad, but there's going to be some natural disasters that are going to befall people. And it is because of their ignorance, you know, towards the whole situation in the world. People that wouldn't even say a word to help their fellow man, not one word, except for yourself. Not all of you, most people. Ask me. I want you to ask me how many times, because here's one thing, I hate liars. I would rather die than lie, and I would rather lose my soul than be a liar. Really, can you say the same thing? I don't think you can. I think you're afraid to. But don't you ever, ever, ever call me a liar. I will want to rip your head off. Don't fucking ever do that again. If you think that something I'm saying isn't accurate, you better just wait. You better talk to God before you open your mouth on that one. Don't you ever fucking do that to me again. I've faced monsters with the truth and gotten beat down for it. Don't you fucking ever tell me I'm a liar. If you can say you've done the same thing, that you've walked up to the head of the dark cabal as a child and confronted it, then I would honor you with that respect. But if that's not you, you better shut the fuck up and realize who you're talking to. If you're going to try and find faults in me that aren't there with your imaginary bullshit for the sins that you do commit, better think again. Or if you don't commit them, or if you have committed them and think that's who I am, it's never been a day in my life that I haven't had God on my side and known that I walked with Him. Believe what you will, but that's true. It's not always been easy, no. And yeah, I've made mistakes, but I'm not a liar. I make a mistake out here, I'll come back out and say I have. And I've done that. I've got videos doing that. Even apology videos for people that were do that. Only a couple. That won't happen probably again. Ever. Most likely not. Because I can't honestly say that anything I do I'm sorry for, because I'm not trying to set any kind of example or image for somebody for them to emulate. We already have that leader, don't we? Hopefully we have that leader in our hearts. Have you ever met somebody that wouldn't lie? Have you? That would be a new thing for you, wouldn't it? You would be astonished. You talk to me for one day and you would not even believe all the stuff you would hear or feel or even see. You wouldn't believe it. Yeah, I'm all that in a bag of chips. Want a sandwich too? Yeah, whatever. I guess I am in still kind of a poor me type of mood, yeah, 'cause I cried a little bit yesterday. It is sad when people really don't like you, you know? So who's gonna listen to me? A so-called friend said. Um, a friend? A friend would. That's who. Who would that be? Shh, don't say anything. God forbid that you would have a true friend that wouldn't lie, that actually has a brain and a heart that functions properly. A true gift from God. That's me. How about you? Are you a true gift? What's a truism? Well, we got a pretty warm day here again. It wasn't as hot yesterday as I thought it was going to be. I didn't turn on the air. We had a nice breeze coming through the house, so it was just good the way it was. Now Doug's got two of them little, I think they're both boy kitties that come up on the porch and want him to clean their eyes every day. When their grandpa, Yeti, showed up in my yard, he was about 6 months old, that pure white one, and his eyes were bad, and I started cleaning his eyes when he was little. Now he's cured because I put some medicine on him a long time ago, a few years back. So, but that makes me think that they're either bred with Himalayan or Persian, because when they try and make the flat face, I had Lynx Point Himalayan, and he died early because they are prone to kitty leukemia and eye problems, and they're born with suffering livers that really cannot get back on track. So they're kind of doomed right from the start, all because of the breeding because people want them to have that flat face so they look more human. That's pretty selfish. I was given that cat by my son, but his name was Billy William Weast. And then dog I took in was a King Charles Cavalier that they overbreed over in England, and they have this disease where they grow growths inside their brain, and the growths start coming out of their skull and their eye socket, and it cuts off their air, and it's hideous, totally hideous. Um, Somebody didn't want to put their dog down, but they didn't want to take care of it either when it started suffering like that, so I took her in for her last few years. Her name was Abby. Neighbor kid shot her down by the creek. She was down there playing in the water, and she came back home, and her hair was so thick I didn't even see the wound right away, and it got infected, and I soaked her butt in a bucket of some cleaner. It had maggots in it. I could not see it in the fur. I couldn't. I didn't even know it was there the first couple days in the summer, and got all her flesh clean and was able to straighten her up again, even though her head was starting to swell, and she was suffering from her disease, and then she got shot on top of it, you know. I thought she was bloody when I first met her. Doug brought her home in the car seat, passenger seat of the car, and he goes, "Look, I have something for you." And I'm thinking, oh, yeah, this could be good or bad because some surprises aren't too cool, you know. Looked at her, and she was a black and white dog, but she had some kind of pinkish fur in there. And I thought it was blood on her, and I freaked out. I opened up that door, and I'm like, "Oh my God, you poor baby." And she's laughing, and I'm like, "What the hell is this?" You know? She was a really good girl. And I would sing Camptown Ladies sing this song, doo-da, doo-da. And I'd call her Abby Skippity Doo-da Day, and I'd sing to her, and we'd sit on the porch. She'd just laugh at me, but she wasn't used to being tied up, or she wasn't used to having a doghouse. She wasn't used to being, she lived in a body shop, and she would lay after they like swept the shop. They would sweep all the you sweep all the trimmings under a car when you're working on it in a pile, and that dog would go lay in all the tacky sandpaper and all the Bondo dust, and just it was nasty. And then she would go over to their neighbor's house, and that dude would feed her potato chips and shit because she wasn't taking. And these were rich people, Masons, that weren't taking care of their dog. They got it for their daughter, realized that it was a diseased pup, and didn't understand the disease. And then when they did figure it out, they were too chicken shit to put her down. So Doug brought her home, and I took care of her for her last years. So she almost died in a puddle. She was walking around, and she'd go like this, and her head was getting heavy, and I looked outside, and her nose went in a puddle, and I went to pick her up, and we brought her in, and then she'd have to go out and go potty, and this went on for so long where she couldn't hardly even walk, and we finally put her in the shop and turned the gas on. Well, in a car. Let her fall asleep like that. So sad. Better than putting a bullet in her head, though. You can't look at somebody you love and just freaking kill them, you know? At least I couldn't. So people are selfish. They're trying to breed these animals to suit their taste, not caring And they do the same thing with people, not caring about the diseases that people will spread. And that's really what happened in the beginning of time. And that's how Satan got caught, spreading his seed that he wasn't supposed to do, and it was rape, and he's got to fix the problem. This is nothing no woman did. If I hear that again, I'm gonna hex your fucking ass. Shut the hell up with that. I mean it. Better shut that shit fucking down. There's enough degradation towards women on this planet. We don't need your yapping that shit. Right? Or find some stupid bitch that's treated you like shit and talk to her like that and leave the good women out of that. You got it? Yeah. Take it out on them, not the good ones. Right? Maybe follow or take it out on the Jezebels that follow Satan, not the righteous women that never would. How's that for a trick? Kind of brings a new term to turning tricks, turning the tables. Oh, well, I'm going to let you go. I think I've pretty much aired everything on my mind. Pretty much. Invitation is still open. If you think that I'm not all what I say I am, you're more than welcome to come and find out. I would truly enjoy that, believe it or not. So I'm a little on the crazy side when it comes to combat. That's the only area. And that's sparring. That's not, unless it's real, and then you're going to get hurt. Not a doubt in my mind. So keep it up if you want, bucko, but I'll be coming after you in the ether. Stop fucking with me. I mean it. You people, you men, need to realize that true evil in the world started with a man, and that's the one who's going to pay the dues, too. So you don't blame a woman for the bastard Satan created. You know, you might hope to hell that she'll help you out. That's the best you can do. But you're going to blame the situation on the innocent party and the victim? You have retarded problems. And furthermore, you really need to read the Old Testament where the laws are, unless you're not worried about the last book. You think that's fake too. Yeah, you think it's all fake, don't you? Do you think there's a reason for an Old and a New Testament? And why aren't the 7 deadly sins and the laws of God, which are separate, and the commandments, which are separate? Because there's like 140 different actual laws that you should know that you're not going to get out of the New Testament. Why aren't they in there? Huh. I'm going to tell you why. Because if you don't know your ass from a hole in the ground right now, that's the end of the book. That's all she wrote, as the saying goes. Why doesn't it say that's all he wrote? I wonder. And who's the fat lady who's gonna sing? It's not over till the fat lady sings. Well, I know that's supposed to be operatic, but makes me wonder all these sayings people say. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for joining me. I hope I was some form of entertainment at least, if you didn't hear all the truth in there. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day, wherever you're at.